I'm Mr. Ramiz Mustan here. I'm basically not in Australia presently. I just saw the news of the parliamentary news channel as well, and I also saw the news of different senatorial committees and different state parliament as well. The great senator for Victoria, Steve Hodgins, ma'am, raised a good question. Children require evidence based education, so that is helpful to them. I would say that she really had a good question and a good concerning question. And she said that the Albanese Labour government gave a reply that this is the matter of state government and schools and territories in Australia. She clearly also said that she's not having an attack on the Australian teachers as well. She is appreciating the Australian teachers and educators as well. But I would also say I would try to explain the great senator for Victoria, Steve Hodgins, ma'am, as well, that the great Albanese Labour government definitely replied a proper answer that that's a responsibility of the teachers and schools and the concerned department, the state departments as well. Because already certain state departments are allotted proper job to have a good concern in educational sector. Great honorable senator ma'am, I'm not criticizing you, but I'm just trying to make this post of mine on my YouTube channel as well. And of course I'm a patriotic Australian citizen man, as you know me well, so I'm just trying to represent my views as well. Okay, apart from that, I saw the news about the senator for Southern Australia state. The great senator said that the black coal industry remains good for Australia as it's supporting high paying jobs. It's supporting high paying jobs. Okay. I'm not putting my views regarding the bill, but I really liked some of the strategy of the statement said by the senator for Southern Australia state, that there has to be a bill which would maintain the compliance and the worker protection who are working in this black coal industry. So I can say that is a good point, because this black coal industry matters a lot. Okay. Apart from that, the great senator, I suppose the great honorable senator, explained one thing very nicely, that the democratic institutions of Australia matters. Alliances matters. So I would really appreciate that statement as well. The great senator for Queensland state, Penny Alban-Pyne, raised a good concern. She asked a question that 22,000 Queenslanders are experiencing homelessness. Approximately 4,454 young Australians are experiencing homelessness. Okay, and even the rents are going higher. The rents are going higher, and even the great young Australians are taking massive mortgages as well. So I believe that that is a good concern. That's a good concern presented by the great senator for Queensland state as well. But I also believe the concerned department delivering the housing plans for the Australian citizens will definitely fulfill the priorities of the Queenslanders, which is my belief, my trust on them being an Australian citizen man. Okay, but I would really appreciate the concern of the great senator of Queensland state as well. Okay, there's a good question asked by the great member of Jungley, and the question was asked to the great honorable Prime Minister in Parliament of Canberra. And on this, the great honorable Prime Minister replied a good answer, that there is an increase in 4.5% in the wages of all the Australian citizens. There is a tax cut for every single taxpayer as well. And definitely there is going to be the expansion of the cheaper medicines and urgent care clinics for the Australian citizens in the great state of Australia. And I believe that this was really a good, correct answer. This was really a good productive answer. This was really a good answer which the great Labour government have already fulfilled the promises for the Australian citizens as well. But as being a patriotic Australian citizen man, I can say I really appreciate the question asked by the Senator for Queensland, and I would appreciate her concern that the great senator is really worried that still there are 22,000 Queenslanders feeling homelessness. But I would like to add my point as well is that the housing plans should be delivered for the Australian citizens only. Okay, this is my point of view as well. And that was again a concern that many young Australians are taking massive mortgages. Of course, I believe that that is a correct statement. But we can, I believe, all the great intelligent senators, the great intelligent Australian financial strategies maker, financial policies maker, there has to be an intellectual solution to be brought. I'm just representing my views. I would say the intellectual solution in the sense the young Australians who are taking the massive mortgages and even they are paying more rate of interest to the Australian banks. If that more rate of interest are paid to the Australian banks, then of course that's a good thing. But how can the great leaders in certain states, how can the financial strategic planners, the authorized government concerned department can plan out in such a way where young Australians, if they are taking mortgages, how can they get more job benefits? How can they get more job promotions? How can they get more job bonuses so that they can easily pay? They can easily pay their mortgages. That won't be a burden for them. And there has to be certain plans where the banks giving mortgages to the Australian citizens, Australian young people, the bank can offer certain kind of productive subsidies as well. So this is my view which I'm representing here on my channel. I cannot describe my views much in detail as well here. Of course, I'm a worry, I can say by God's grace I got a good knowledge in finance sector as well. I even worked as a volunteer member in certain Western country, and I was, describing my best financial ideas as well as a volunteer man of certain bank of certain Western country as well. And I'm already working as a volunteer member in NSW state of Australia as an educator man as well. Okay. But being a patriotic Australian citizen man, I can say, being a patriotic, I can say, a responsible member, I have my eyes and I generally have a habit of representing my views on my channel. I'm not criticizing any senator. I'm not criticizing any political party of Australia as well. And I'm not opposing our great Albanese Labour government as well. But I believe the more wiser, the more conscious, the more cautious, the more awareness all the leaders have about the priorities of Australian citizens, the more powerful our great Albanese Labour government would be, and the more powerful our Australian economy would be, and our Australian citizens of all ages would be much happier and they would be much satisfied. So that's only my vision and my mission as well. Have a blessed day, all the great leaders, all the great senators in all states of the great nation Australia. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.